Hello and welcome. Today we're in Heath, Cardiff, and we're looking to do a service on a Acorn Slimline 130. It's not one we fitted, it's possibly done by Acorn. This is a T700 and this is a power swivel seat model. So the first thing we do is functionally test it under load. We bring it to the top because there's always a lot more room to take the seat off and it's a lot safer. So we'll open it up and have a good look through everything. Check all the safety edges, check the rollers, check the motor brushes. Just make sure it's running all smoothly. Also, we'll clean the track. The track always picks up a little bit of debris and lubricate the track. So keep watching. So we make sure the safety gear is nice and clean. We'll give that a bit of a clean out in there. People put grease on there and all it does is it attracts dust and debris and whatnot. People put grease on the rack here and it just transfers onto there, which transfers across onto your safety gear, which causes you problems. And eventually that can bung up and cause you problems coming downwards. Also, people put grease on these. We went to one yesterday and we actually took it off and actually cleaned it out in the sink because it was just coated in grease. Again, it just causes dust and other debris to stick to it, so it's not a good thing. We'll check the motor brushes on this. We'll check all the rollers. We'll run it off at the top, make sure the rollers are nice and turning smoothly. The rollers there. And also your final limits, we'll make sure those are nice and clean. So keep watching. So it's just an observation here, someone's been a bit lazy on when they fitted this. There should be a hole under there with a grommet in there where the cable can run through. That could potentially be a bit sharp. You've got the safety cover on there that does protect that, but that can short out. So we're going to put a little nick in there just to give the cable a bit of a recess, a bit of protection. Put a bit of tape on there, but there should be a hole in there. So we got the Stairlift removed. Gives us a good opportunity to check all the limit switches. A lot of these get pushed in and they get bent and then they can stick in. So we check the functionality of these. And again with the top ones. That's just how we like to see them, like that. Any distortion on there, so if this has been hitting, it can actually cause a bit of distortion there, which causes the lift to get stuck, but those are good. And we check the rollers, make sure they're nicely lubricated, everything's turning freely. These very rarely need changing. People have changed them, but they very rarely need changing. It's only if you get a bit of an obstruction on a track or something that actually cuts one of these. These are really quite durable. And also we check the switches here. These are nice and clean. And the safety gear, as you can see in there. That looks good. A little bit of debris on there, but nothing too concern. So we'll give these a quick wipe over. Get it back on. Make sure these are set right as well. Sometimes the charger points are set quite far in and they can get stuck and break off. These are brass. The standard ones use carbon brushes, which are not very durable, but these are really good. Very rarely do we get a problem with these. So you can see in there the functionality of the overspeed governor. That needs to be nicely lubricated, but not grease. And its function is if the lift was to start running down quickly, it digs in, but normally once they start coming in, they could distort, and then you can get issues with that. So we keep them nice and clean. That is working well. We put a little recess in there. You know we're going to see it. It'll just give that cable a little bit of protection. We check the motor brushes as well because nobody does. A little bit of wear on there, but it's wearing evenly. No hot spots on there. A bit more life left in that. We check the tightness of the fuse as well. In time these build up a lot of heat. And the fuse can get a little loose and give intermittent problems. People think the board's gone, but it can be just a fuse holder, so just make sure that's nice and tight in there. And that's good. Battery terminals are good. They're not going anywhere. Very, very light lubrication of this. And check these switches. Make sure the connections are nice and tight on there. The cables are fed nicely through there. So this is the deluxe model. This is the power swivel seat model, which automatically turns at the top. We do supply these. These are good options. Most of the list we fit a manual swivel, but we'll just check the functionality of the swivel. Make sure it's smoothless, there's no jerking. Make sure the cables are nicely routed there, and make sure that it stops appropriately. Perfect. We also check the arms, as these do suffer from wiring issues in here, which we can sort on site. And there you have it. So we'll return it down to the bottom for the customer to use later. We'll give the track a little clean. And then on to the next job. Thanks for watching. Stairliftswales.com. Book Acorn Slimline straight stairlift specialists. We specialise in 120 and 130 straight models. We carry all parts in stock. Give us a call, free advice. Thanks for watching.